It's January 27th, 2024. It's approaching the end of day 14 of the Grand Sumo tournament at the Ryogoku Kokuki-kan in Tokyo. And on the clay, there's a big match about to take place. Ozeki Kirishima is about to take on Sekiwake Kotonowaka. The two entered the day tied for first place in the tournament along with Terunofuji. But the Yokozuna, the highest rank a sumo wrestler can attain, earned a free win after his opponent, Ozeki Hoshoryu, pulled out after suffering a knee injury on day 13. So the winner of this match would pull into a tie for first place entering the final day of competition. For Kotonowaka, a win here puts him closer to winning his first championship, and build upon his family's legacy in sumo. But for Kirishima, the stakes are even higher. If he beats Kotonowaka, he'll have a shot at becoming the next Yokozuna. Kirishima has established himself as one of the sport's top stars in recent years. The 27-year-old Mongolian had reached the top division in 2019, but it wasn't until 2022 when he began to find his stride. He posted back-to-back 10-win performances in March and May, and 2 tournaments later, he climbed up to the Senyaku, the top ranks of the top division, for the first time in September. In 2023, he took another step forward, first by finishing runner-up in January, then capturing his first championship in March. He followed that up with an 11-win performance in May to give him a 34-11 record during those 3 tournaments. It earned him a promotion. He became the latest Mongolian to reach the rank of Ozeki, the highest rank in sumo behind Yokozuna. The 21st century saw Mongolian fighters dominate Japan's national sport, and the previous 5 Mongolians who reached Ozeki were all eventually promoted to Yokozuna. Kirishima had a magical 2023. He hit double-digit win totals 4 different times, and in November he captured his second career championship. The unwritten rule to becoming a Yokozuna is winning back-to-back championships as an Ozeki, or putting on a championship-worthy performance. And how that's interpreted is up to the Yokozuna Deliberation Council. And right now, there's a bit of an urgency in trying to find the next Yokozuna to be the face of the sport. Terunofuji is the 73rd Yokozuna in the history of sumo, and he has one of the greatest comeback stories in all of sports. After reaching the rank of Ozeki in 2017, a series of injuries hindered his career for years. And sumo is an unforgiving sport. Every match you miss is considered a loss, and if you have to pull out of a tournament, your record is seen as having 0 wins. And given that your ranking for the next tournament is determined by your record, this spelled trouble for the big Mongolian. For Terunofuji, missing numerous tournaments sent him free-falling all the way down to Jonidan, the second lowest of sumo's 6 divisions. But he battled back, and in 2021 he earned his Yokozuna rope. But the injury bug returned in 2022, and over the last 2 years he completed just 4 of the 12 scheduled tournaments. And of the other 8, he had to completely sit out in 5 of them. When he's healthy, he's still the best the sport has to offer. Of those 4 completed tournaments, he had 1 runner-up finish and 2 championships. But the Mongolian's time was winding down, so eyes were on the 3 Ozeki to potentially take his spot. Hoshoryu, nephew of the first Mongolian Yokozuna Asashoryu, just earned his promotion in the September tournament. He captured his first Makuuchi championship in July, and while he's been solid since the promotion, he hasn't quite taken that next step yet. And he wouldn't be in this basho after having to withdraw after a 10-3 start. Takakeisho had come close. He had 8 career runner-up finishes, 4 championships, including 1 this past September. His best shot to become Yokozuna came exactly 1 year ago. He finished runner-up after losing in the playoff to Abi in the December 2022 tournament, and followed it up with a 12-3 championship in January. But it wasn't quite what the Yokozuna Deliberation Council wanted. Back-to-back losses to Komusubi Kotonowaka and Kiribayama, who's now Kirishima, ended his dream. Despite winning the title, the council felt it wasn't enough. And unfortunately, like Terunofuji, injuries were starting to take their toll on his body. After winning his first 2 matches, he lost to Wakamoto Haru on day 3 and pulled out of the tournament with a pinched nerve in his neck. So the only healthy Ozeki left in this tournament was Kirishima. Back to the dojo, Kirishima prepares to take on Kotonowaka, a wrestler he entered the tournament with a lopsided 10-3 record against, including 4 consecutive wins. Surely this is setting up for a Kirishima win, right? The 26-year-old Kotonowaka comes from a long line of wrestlers. His grandfather was the 53rd Yokozuna Koto Zakura, and his father, also named Kotonowaka, reached Sekiwaki in his prime. He had been coming into his own recently. With a winning record already secured, this marks his 9th straight tournament with Akachi Koshi. He finished runner-up in November with an 11-4 record, so a win here would surpass his career high mark. It could also help him elevate to Ozeki. 2 more wins would get him to the magic 33 total in the Senyaku over the last 3 tournaments, an unofficial benchmark to earn the promotion. Plus, he would finish no worse than runner-up, giving him 2 in a row. Back in the ring, the two launched into a slap fight off the tachiai, the initial charge. After a short stalemate, Kotonowaka goes on the offensive, slapping away Kirishima's left arm and puts pressure on his neck with his left arm. Then in an instant, he goes for a pull-down, sending the Mongolian forward off balance. A quick sidestep to the right and he's on Kirishima's side. He grabs the mawashi with both hands and ushers the Mongolian out of the ring. Kirishima's chances weren't dashed, but they certainly were diminished. As the second highest ranked wrestler, he still had 1 more match in the slate, a face-off against Terunofuji. Beat the Yokozuna and his chances at a promotion are still in play. Lose? Well, he'll just have to start all over again. Kotonowaka ended Kirishima's hopes at winning the Yusho, crushing the scrappy Tobizaru on day 15 by slamming the smaller man into the ground. He had his 13th win, he guaranteed at least a runner-up finish, and an Ozeki promotion is all but assured. Now for the main event, Terunofuji vs Kirishima. It wasn't much a rivalry as it was a mismatch. Entering this fight, the Yokozuna held a 10-0 advantage. Kirishima had a slight edge on the tachiai, moving his larger opponent back with a push, but like a big brother fighting his younger sibling, Terunofuji lifts up Kirishima, picking him off his feet and launches him out of the ring. With that one shove, Kirishima's shot at Yokozuna comes to an end. Terunofuji would go on to beat Kotonowaka in the playoff, capturing his 9th career Yusho. As for Kirishima, well, according to Sato Gatake, the head of the refereeing department, if he had beat a Yokozuna and had 12 wins, they would have had a discussion to promote him to Yokozuna. Chances to become Yokozuna don't come around often. As good as Kirishima had been, various injuries began taking their toll on him. He was just 5-10 in March and pulled out after a 1-5 start in May. The back-to-back losing records dropped him out of the Senyaku. Now as the Mongolian is turning 30, his window to becoming Yokozuna is closing fast. In the sport's history, only 14 earned the rope after they turned 30, and only 5 in the modern era. And with 2 Yokozuna entering their prime and another young star eclipsing him, he would need the run of his life to get another chance. For Kirishima, January of 2024 may have been his best and possibly only shot to become Yokozuna. If he never gets it, he'll be the only Mongolian to become Ozeki and never climb higher. But it proved that the margin of error between a very good career and immortality can be razor thin. Thanks for watching. So what do you want to see me talk about next? Leave your suggestions in the comments below, and if you like what I do, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you next time.